capitalist economy, right? And then that's why you need fucking something. I don't know. Hey, Roger, maybe AI will solve the allocation problem.
It is the allocation issue more than inflation is the typical result, isn't it? Or, I mean, you could be right, Roger, but it's not the famous result of...
It's both. The whole system gets fucked up. You have to have hundreds of thousands of people trying to figure out where to send what and what to price something at, barter in exchange, and even during
Harris, you'll know the price.
Yeah, and then what happens is all these black markets start popping up everywhere, and people start trading goods inside their city, and capitalism begins. Micro capitalist economies start popping up naturally. So it's fucking, I don't know, it's a disaster. Never let the government tell you how much something should cost.
True. Healthcare, maybe.
Absolutely.
You know what's interesting? There's after World War II, the government of, I think, Japan and the United States, for a short time, they really did have to set the prices of a couple of staple goods for a couple of years because, Japan was so fucked up. But even immediately after World War II, as soon as the papers were signed, all these black markets started popping up. People started trading cigarettes for wheelbarrows and things like that. So it just, I mean, there's a whole bunch
each other's identities because they lost. There's a very interesting movie about fraud in Japan and the Yakuza. Like, they basically sold each other's identities because of that. Because after they basically, a lot of their like passport infrastructure or whatever was completely gone. They had they were all of their documentation about who are you and who am I. It was completely gone. So they started selling each other's identities. And with digitalization, they're actually afraid because then the programmers can be the ones who do this, to steal people's identities, like an ego programmer. It's actually, they have a very strange idea.
Yeah, we're getting off topic, but yeah, for sure. Don't let the government set prices.
You know what I really hate? I really hate selling ass to get a loaf of bread. That's what I really hate to fucking have to do. I'm saying, like, who's selling, like, that's where we at, bro. Like,
that's one of the two benefits.
People talk about, cheap benefit to sell my ass for a loaf of bread.
Where there's a cloud, there's a silver lining.
Hey, but I mean, things get a lot worse than that. During the fucking communist times in Russia, people were like eating their children now. Like, no lie.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. No lie. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the point I'm trying to make. Like, the best thing is to not have to fucking eat or sell your children. That shit, I'm just gonna say it like this, man.
Motherfuckers tried to kill capitalism makes people. You seem to be suggesting that capitalism is the one.
What I'm trying to say is, despite of anything, I listened to Obama's speech and I listened to all of this, like, this kind of rhetoric when you slap somebody in the face behind your mom's back and mom turn around and turn into an angel, or you do all kind of grimy shit on the under the surface, and then when the cameras are rolling, you smile at the camera, and the guy that just got his fucking head slapped, he's ready to knock you the fuck out on camera, and you're trying to talk about people angry, like we don't have the right to be angry. Like when they try to gaslight you and pretend that, the economy is great, actually. In fact, crime was worse under Trump. Like, all this little goofy shit, like, I can't see what the fuck is happening in real life and on the ground. And then you want another 4 years. You just nonstop bullshit from a party and a fucking media apparatus that wipes the ass of this party. You're going to sit here and pretend like you want to talk all this sweet shit about Joe Biden, but pretend like every last one of those fuckers on stage, every last one of their fucking voters didn't know that y'all dragged a half-big motherfucker in the White House for 4 years and trying to pretend like y'all was surprised as of a month ago. We didn't know, like, please. Save that for somebody who wasn't fucking born yesterday. Like, you want to pretend that there wasn't nothing fishy about a presidential candidate almost getting his fucking top blown off, his brains blown the fuck out on television, and sadly, the fucker who shot ended up shooting an innocent bystander in the crowd. But you almost watched a presidential candidate get his top blown off on national television. And that headline couldn't even make it longer than the fucking Chris Rock slap. We were talking about the Chris Rock slap all throughout the fucking news and media conversations for months on end. But a man who's running for president in the so-called freest fucking country almost got his top blown off, and the headlines lasted 2 weeks. Why? Let me finish.
Wait, you gotta stop screaming like you Joe Biden last night. That's all I was gonna say.
Look, man, I didn't have my ice cream today. I biked for about 19 miles. I took off day today, and I'm fired the fuck up after hearing the guy who's actually been running the show get up on stage and talk, Mr. Barry. Like, it's just unreal how a president is running for office in the freest country in America gets his top blown off, and that is pushed aside simply because we got to make another move. Let's go ahead and let's go ahead and move Biden out like we never knew this was coming, like we didn't know this day was coming.
Well, most Democrats didn't believe that it was even an assassination attempt.
Well, he was supposed to be in jail, remember? Trump wasn't supposed to even be making it right now. This is supposed to be a fucking layup. Kamala was supposed to go head up against some fucking piece of shit candidates like Nikki Haley or fucking Booby. Like, what was the other fucking guy?
So you think there was
Ramaswamy Rice.
You think there was a
We were supposed to
conspiracy?
put fucking Balsamani Rice up there against Kamala Harris and
Condoleezza Rice is great. You think there was?
No, I said Balsamani Rice.
You think there was? You think there was a conspiracy to shoot off the president's ear?
No, I thought it was a conspiracy to try to blow his head off his head. I'm thinking it's a conspiracy to try to tell me that this young man did this alone, and he got on the roof 100 yards away, and that roof wasn't covered.
So what would it have been if he had been shot, killed? What would you say then? Would it have been a conspiracy? I'm not sure where. I don't understand.
Damn, Dr. Jordan, yo. This is what it's like when you call yourself a doctor, yo. I'm a fucking zoologist and shit.
Yeah, I know. You know, a lot of, all of that. That's I'm not gonna stand on stage and be like, hey, just nick my ear. Nick my ear.
If you look at his ear today, it's like nothing happened to it. I don't know if he got something special, plastic surgery. I don't know if he's part of Wolverine, where his shit regenerates, but his ear is perfect.
You know what? Hey, I'm gonna roll with that, and I'm gonna tell you this. If that was the case, the media would have been all over that shit. I guarantee you.
No, if it was,
They would be all over that shit. They would be all over that shit because let me tell you something. The only person on the DNC that I don't really like, but I had respect for her point of inquiry. The only person on the DNC, if that's where your money, if you want to put your money where your mouth is and think that Trump has been like anybody is going to conspire in faking something like that, cool, let's roll with it. I'm opening up conspiracy theories, but let's just follow it down the line. So you're supposed to expect us to believe that we're supposed to roll with the fake, assassination attempt. But the only person on the other side that's questioning because we have to take it for what it is. We saw that a shooter was able to get within 100 yards of the freaking former president and current presidential candidate. So the problem is, what the fuck did the Secret Service do and what did they not do? That's a story that is worth 6 months of coverage.
how many other?
That alone, fuck the bullet. Because if it's fake, all we gotta do is investigate the people who are in charge of making sure this can't happen real or fake. All you gotta do is investigate what the fuck they're doing.
Hold on, Blake. David, I know you guys fucking hear me, man. It's so rude. So, Blake, the question I have for you is,
So rude.
who's they? Who helped this young man shoot the president?
Somebody.
Probably the same people who helped MLK get popped and was surveilling him all the way up until he died. Like the FBI and under J. Edgar Hoover did a lot of weird shit that is still classified to this day about Martin Luther King's assassination. The same goes for JFK. So with that being said, we have a lot of precedent that there's a day out there. There is some group of people that is able to keep secrets from the American people.
Well, Blake.
So
Hold on.
Whoever has the power to give us a narrative and say, Blake, what the story is, the story's
All right, Blake, hold on. Are you comparing Donald Trump to MLK and JFK?
No, I'm identifying that these were targets, high-profile targets. JFK is a high-profile target. He's the president, for fuck's sake. MLK was a very populist leader who wasn't a political candidate or a political figure, but he had potential of being one, and he had a strong following. Malcolm X.
Okay, thank you. David, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say it's up to you guys, but this subject has been discussed again and again, and I want to go back to things that matter, and we're talking about the price fixing and all that. That's not a new idea. That's something that has been tried in China, in Soviet Union, in former Eastern European countries, in banana republics, in Argentina, Venezuela, everywhere, and has not worked. And actually, even people who are not educated in those countries have already learned that these promises, these things don't work. And I'm really surprised that here in America, we're falling for things that the world has already learned. And like we say, oh no, this is going to help us. I just don't get it. We're going backwards.
Americans are stupid and they count.
Okay, I actually was going to jump in on this one. Oh, okay, go ahead, Hakeem. Sorry.
You guys say it has failed and so I'm not an advocate for it. I have no idea about it. I mean, I don't know the history of it. But
I don't know the history of price fixing.
The countries you guys say has been tried in do not have the economy America had.
Why don't you just try it?
Why can't I answer my question? I'm trying to get an understanding.
I'm just advocate for it. Hakeem, I'm trying to work out why you'd want to try it.
I don't.
For fun?
Why? When did
We
haven't been tried in an economy like this one?
Well, you
because
just
it didn't work.
I have got to abandon ship.
Really well is that ultimately what you're talking about, 100% everything that you said completely exists under a legal system that is enforced by muscle and military and the right to enforce those rules and those contracts and that precedence, right? All of what you said is true under that context. What is also true is that if you take, I think you made a really good definition of what private property is, right? But if you take that and apply it to Israel, what's happening today in Israel, or apply it to, any of the massive shifts in governance of one people over another in a certain place. The reality is that if I live somewhere where there's no government, I don't have any private property. My 6 generations back, my ancestors might have lived on this land, worked it, tilled it, my kids grew up on it. But if there's no government, that's not my private property. That's just, what defines private property is government and contract.
All you're saying is that. You're just saying that you can't protect it. That's all that you're saying. You're just saying private property may or may not exist. May or may be violated. You may or may have a violation against your private property. The idea, the concept, the philosophical concept of private property is when you mix your labor with something, you get to own, control it, and use it until you dispose of it. And that is what ownership is. That is what private property is as a concept. So
really, is that really true, Doctor? My God, where did you go to economics school?
And violate your property is still the philosophical concept is still there. It's just whether someone else is going to violate it or not.
I guess for me, if you say, define private property, for me, I would say that is property that has been.
Wow. This is really brutal.
conversation. But anyway.
Grand Rising, Kamala gonna build back better than ever before and make this economy explode with communism and fake money from the Federal Reserve. It's gonna be gangbusters.
Yeah. We're a conscious experience. In real life, the brain is terribly good and puts everything together.
Oh, what?
The definition of property, the Civil War, like, that was all about the government's ability to enforce.
Governments in the world tried this system and it really failed. So there's really no reason to believe that a full force communist economy can ever work. Unfortunately, it's flawed from its very founding principles.
What's nice about it, Pedro?
Hey, just for the record, I never said try communism. I said the capital price. I mean,
Right,
I get
right.
you guys. I get that.
That's
Can I finish a statement, please? I get that you guys say that can lead to communism, but that's not directly communism. It has been done in the U.S. under Nixon.
And it failed.
I'm not trying. Okay, but the country is still here.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it does work.
Let him talk.
It's a thing, Dr. George. It's just crazy. I can't even get one question out.
Can't get one question out. Can't get one answer into my question.
Because if you think prices are bad, scarcity is really fucking scary. Get serious here. Like, you want to talk about what would be scary? That would be.
Price gouging, that means like if they are not just talking about them or being specific, that means that in like certain industries, let's say food, some companies they're kind of working together in collusion and or have big control, and then maybe they're affecting the prices. If that is happening, we already have antitrust law. We already have laws about monopoly. We just have to put them in effect and watch and see if anyone is doing it, we deal with it. That is how you deal with it. If any company is trying to do that, or companies are trying to do that, you don't have to fix the price on the other.
Well, the irony is that you would need to have a monopoly in order to fix the pricing effectively. So you'd actually have to make a market where you didn't have multiple players.
Yeah, there's a movie about that in the price fixing of wheat or something during the 1970s. I forget, I think. Yeah, anyways, but Hekima, you can, it's true that you can have government subsidies or government welfare. When there's no free 100% capitalist society in the entire world. I mean, for example, roads and highways, we have to tax people to
it's always about the fucking roads.
It's just because it's an easy. I know, Roger, you hate that. It's just an easy example, right? But it's a good example. So or public parks.
Hey, can I ask you a question? I don't know about where you guys live, but like, can you guys honestly tell me about the roads in your town? Like, because when people talk about we gotta have roads, the first thing I think about is like where I grew up in East Bay. Fucking roads were awful. In fact, they didn't pave them. People have to go out there and pave them themselves. They go out and fucking get concrete and fill fucking potholes. Yeah. Like I don't know. Like, what bougie roads are you guys talking about that you're so fucking proud of?
Well, the Trans-Canada Highway is quite taken care of, and it's the second longest road in the entire world. But you're right, Roger, it is mismanaged. I mean, there's an argument for privatizing all of the highways in Canada. They do that in Japan. But you have to pay a fee to get onto the highways anywhere in Japan. But
they're private.
Yeah, Hikima, I mean, there's no pure 100% capitalist society in this world. The closest one, as far as I understand, is Hong Kong. But there are problems when you go too close to pure capitalism. There are some problems.
Name one.
Well, okay, let's say you have something like boring. Yeah, let's say
Hold
you have someone
on.
that's born retarded, and they can't support themselves, and their parents are also retarded. What do? Throw them off a fucking cliff? I don't know.
Cool. Let me just remind you of what you just said, and then I want you to repeat, okay? So you said there's no true capitalist society. The closest you get is Hong Kong. But if we had pure capitalism, there would be problems. So walk me through the process, because I want you to square this. So there is no pure capitalism, but there's problems with pure capitalism. Explain.
I believe that there would be. Okay, well, I mean, hey, you do strike a good point, because we don't have anything to point to with complete and absolute clarity. There's not the super clear example of a pure capitalist system.
Theoretically, you can map it, externalities and periodicals, something.
Yeah, I mean,
Poodle. What if we thought about this on a spectrum, right? Where there's pure capitalism that's never happened, and there's pure communism that's never happened, and then we think about, okay, at what point is the market its best, right? If you were to think about, like, where you would draw that little line. If we're doing a line drawing exercise, and you're gonna make a small little mark where you think it's best. Now, pure capitalism on one end, pure communism on the other. Again, we would agree.
You can't raise the price of tuna can with tuna can.
Where do you draw your line?
Yeah, so absolutely. First of all, eat myself, Roger. I'm not intelligent enough to answer that question in detail. Of course, I'm not an economist, and I don't think any single world's most brilliant economist can answer your question perfectly. But I think, my basic philosophy is the entire economy of sales. Small businesses like everybody needs to have access to a capitalistic environment. You want incentive. At the same time, sometimes when some companies get too large and they have a monopoly, that kind of stops the capitalist
Wait, hold on.
system from expressing itself.
When it's too large, and we have what you would call a
monopoly.
monopoly.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example where that's happened? I want you to give me an example of where that happened and the government wasn't involved.
Trudeau Inc. Yeah, so we only have like 4 or 5 cell phone companies in Canada, and they definitely have a massive monopoly over everything. And I mean, Canada is a small country with a small population, so they really price capitalists.
Wait, hold on. You said there was 4 or 5 companies, and they have a monopoly?
They really do.
Well,
50 monopoly.
Hold on. Right. Your own, the sentence you said describes something that's not a monopoly.
No, I understand. I just mean there's not enough competition because they're all so massive. They all charge like our cell phone data rates are like 10 times as expensive as they are in the States.
So would you then agree with me? Would you then agree with me that, like, if we were to take any starting point, like we could take today, we could take 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, would you agree with my statement that at any time that you look at, and I'll just speak about the U.S. market, in the U.S. economy, do you believe that there's a time where making the market more
100
than it was at that point in time, like today, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, whatever it was? Is there a point in time where making the market more free would have been a negative?
Making it more free would lead to something negative. As I said, in the case of monopolies, I think it's a weird thing, Roger, right? It's like
maybe.
It's not. Hold on. It's not weird.
Please allow me to finish my. Please allow me to finish my sentence.
You keep going back to monopolies, and monopolies. When I asked you for an example, you said that 4 or 5 phone companies control everything, and I'm thinking to myself, man, if you got 4 or 5 companies competing with each other, you don't have a monopoly. But the bigger point that I would make is that you can't point to a quote-unquote monopoly that wasn't created and aided with the assistance of the government. Like whether it's a subsidy, whether it's a bailout, whether it's regulations that protect those types of companies, all of the companies that would get to the point where people would start talking about, we need to look into antitrust and address breaking this company up. Right. If you look at all of the examples where we start talking about antitrust laws, you will also see that at some point in that company's existence that the government was giving the big handout. And so I think the problem that I have when people say that, hey, we would have monopolies and that would be a bad thing. Well, actually, the monopolies are a result of government interference, which is actually it's antithetical to the idea of capitalism. And so
very often the government is the monopoly.
Yeah, you don't think that companies could be so successful that they can become monopolies naturally?
I guess I talked too much. I'll just.
No, I'm just asking. Don't you think that some companies can be so successful that they can become monopolies on their own without government intervention?
I appreciate your comments, but I think Roger's trying to convey to you that he wants people to be able to talk and not talk over each other. I'm just letting you know.
I'm sure Roger will get over it. He does it a lot himself too. I don't know, but okay. So I do want to respect Roger's request. Monopoly.
Excuse me, Poodle, since we're talking over each other, have you ever played the game Monopoly or read?
No, Hakima, yeah, no, he gotta go. Let me say something. Roger doesn't, often leave his own rooms. So let's kind of just move the mic around, and I think that Roger...
Oh, no, he gotta go. That was awesome.
And we just came into something else that woke us up, and this was enough to take us to another level.
Several people have tried to be very nice and say, hey, let's chill a little bit, let other people talk. We've given more grace than I think we've ever given anybody. And I love you. I think you're great, but you're not listening to what people are saying.
Okay, question for you then, Dr. Jordan, and everyone. Do you think that perhaps the end of the Reagan era, sort of the 80s or 90s in the US, would probably be when you may have wanted to rein back a little bit of the free market, where you possibly wanted some more social stuff going on? Would that be, that's probably the most free market you can find, I would have thought, in this.
Can you add more context to that? Like, what do you mean by, like, in the 70s and 80s when they were trying to rein in the market? Like, what are you talking about?
They weren't trying to rein it in, but I'm trying to think out of everywhere in the world, when was the most free market ever around? It probably would have been at the height of the Reagan era, would you say? And if so, would that have been a time for more social intervention or government intervention in pricing?
I don't know, does anyone have information to answer that? I have not.
Sorry, I wasn't listening very carefully. I'm trying to multitask.
Sorry. I wasn't suggesting that it was a good idea to do it.
Well, China had, this is not the answer to your question, by the way, so China is a great example of, they really tried pure communism more than anyone else. And they were just dealing with hunger, with like all kinds of problems. I can't even begin from their exports, imports, the poverty, etc. And eventually, excuse me, let me finish, okay? So they eventually have to understand and accept that in order to survive, they have to capitalism, and they did that gradually. Look at the China when Nixon went there, and China today, and the more they embraced capitalism, the more they flourished. So that's why I'm saying we look at the example in different shapes and forms everywhere, rather than just try everything just for the heck of it. That doesn't make sense. Now, is everything perfect? It's not. But there are many things in your life, whatever maybe it's not, exactly the way you want it, but you don't just like burn everything or change everything all around. You just focus on that issue and deal with it. You don't change the whole structure of what's working. You just deal with that specific issue. When people bring up these quote unquote revolutionary ideas, there's nothing revolutionary about them. Actually, they're very reactionary because it has been tried. And the opposite, like I said, has shown that has worked. So I'll just give you so many examples out there. Just have to look at it.
We already live in communism. What do you think 40 trillion going to 50 trillion to 60 trillion means? That means communism. The Federal Reserve and Congress is already instituting it and doing it now.
Yeah, that wasn't true either. Just because the country's in debt doesn't mean it's communist.
Well, it depends whether it's forever debt or whether it's kind of just oiling the wheels debt. And it seems that this is probably more structured.
Kicked me again. What a crazy world. What a crazy world. Dumb fucking Hakima. I knew it. I bet you any motherfucker's gonna be talking.
Bro, he said he was selling weed. He never said he was doing
You mean you said you step on him?
Yes, I said him probably that you the type of nigga that wanna step on every white man you see.
No, I don't see him too often. I don't like.
Yo, man, this is a white man, and I made a bet before I came in your black room, but I figured Ali would be talking, and so I lost the bet. So thank you very little, Ali. You're usually motorboating, and I thought for sure you'd be talking, so I lost the bet. Sorry, Ali.
Hey, white man that you just said you are.
Why you was talking?
Asian. What you know about motorboat? You don't know
I
how
thought Ali was there.
I'm talking to you. Sound like Zoe Bird.
Ali loves talking about nothing. This atheist hasn't read a good book in 20 years.
I don't know if Adrian lady or man, I'm not sure if she is or he is, but I'm not sure where you're coming from. The only moral, whatever mouth you were talking about, is you coming on the stage and blabbering, okay?
I know, Ali. Go read a book and take your pathetic atheism. And what is up with your face? Like, what do you look like? You look like a dinosaur.
Okay, now, so if you have a comment or point to make about the title,
He ain't lying though. He ain't lying.
Just, by the way, this seems to me the second time this lady, Adrian, is doing this.
Ali, give us your top 3 books. What are your 3 favorite books in your life?
Dinosaur Land 1, Dinosaur Land 2, Dinosaur Land 3.
Check my PPR TV. My PPR. My PPR TV.
So we got a whole record.
I leave them folks said you look like you gonna say rawr.
RXD.
Ali, it looks like you went through chemotherapy, but instead you got like a toxic dose of radiation that your body positively reacted to, and you look like a mutant. Thank you very little. I'm sorry, I'm only making fun of Ali because I've listened to him run his mouth for years on this app at one word every 5 seconds. So you have to be very, very patient when you listen to Ali string a sentence together, word by word by word, and he's an atheist.
So I ain't gonna lie. He likes Adrian, likes Ali, cause I'm just seeing you with that dinosaur junk. I would get you with that shit right away, like ASAP, and let you know this shit for real, cause that nigga said that, so he like a dinosaur.
Ali, I'm not saying that you're ugly because I'm almost sure I already look like you, and when I get older, I will probably look even more like you. So you know, I'm complimenting you. I hope I look like a dinosaur.
You said what, fam? What's all? You kind of cut out. What's out?
He said, "What's the rules if you don't want to get kicked?"
What's the rules? Yeah. What's off limits? What's the rules? I don't want to get. Oh, come on, bro. Don't put me on spot.
There ain't no rules in this meet. Don't cry. That's the only rule. Don't be a pussy ass, fuck ass.
Hold on, dog. Tell crazy ass. I didn't know you was in here. But yeah. Nah, it's all good, bro. The rules is be yourself. And ain't no limit on what you say.
Alright,
Cause don't come in
Don
and
sound a little sus, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Don, who he is, bro.
Don sound a little sus,
Don, tell you who he is.
Have a bad night.
Yo, Don, why don't you philosophically try to answer the title, the question in the room, Don? I'm interested in what you got to say, Don.
I came off a little break.
Hold on, why Adrian sound like that?
I just got some head. I could never have a bad night. You can't fuck my night up. You sound sus.
If you got head, does that mean you gave head? Reciprocation.
You a filthy faggot.
That's fine. You can't lose.
You ain't gay, Don. I'll marry you. I'll make you a legitimate woman, Don.
You shouldn't be in the talking either, because I'm in the fight, man. When bitches like
Don, when Kamala and Obama got on stage tonight and they said that you matter, do you really believe them?
I ain't about to wrestle with no
at all. You shouldn't have said nothing to me at all, bitch. You coming off your mic board.
Here comes the psychotic. Here comes the psycho. Look out. Get your bulletproof jackets.
It ain't gonna be nothing to wrestle with.
Go ahead, get it off your chest, you fatherless nigga. Go ahead.
On my chest, why you so mad? Why you so bothered?
Oh, man.
Damn, did you call him fatherless?
Niggas that wanna address you.
Fatherless bitch.
Where you at?
Lying on your mama, lying on your mama, lying on your mama.
So he's dead. He's somewhere laying in the ground in a cardboard box.
No, he's alive.
Oh, okay.
Yo, Don, your mama or your daddy give you them pretty lips?
Where the hoe that you just lied said suck your dick at?
Yeah, prove it. We need to see some receipts about your great night.
And you, so while she in the shower washing her pussy, you arguing with a faggot. You a booty boy. You arguing with a faggot. You
Booty, booty, booty boy, booty, booty, booty boy, booty, booty, booty boy.
You on the phone in the other room arguing with a faggot. Does she know? Does she know about it?
No, he already busted his nuts. She don't need to know. He don't care.
Tell her come get the phone. Let me introduce her. I'm boyfriend number 2.
Ooh.
Tell her that me and her is
Ooh, he's in love.
Since her nigga wanna argue with me like he fucking me. The copium.
Now we have some time for some questions for the audience. It's a little complicated because people had to move here, but who wants to say?
I heard you're a philosopher. Well, you're no fucking artist because your PTR sucks.
I got you, Lobby. I got you. I'm gonna take my lit ass
on some real nigga shit, you heard? Hold on. Hey, yo, Rox, please, bro, stop, bro. How was that? Hey, yo, the replay is on. You niggas, now you niggas is gay. On that dog, you niggas is faggots. On that dog.
No, what if you said that was
And they were coming up with that's how I am right now. And I think he forgot he already said meetings a couple weeks ago. Who's Adrian?
This is like the funniest thing because it's like deja vu or Groundhog Day, where it's like every time you come on here, it's the same pattern every time.
Oh my god, bitch.
Hello. Damn, did I come into like some secret baddie house or something? God damn. Exoticals. Perdón, yo quiero español estudio en colegio y la escuela de la secundaria para 4 años. You need to not get so angry all the time. I do every day in the sun at 4 o'clock, 4:20.
Cut your ribs out your body so you can suck your own dick.
No, I was born with a giant dick.
There's giant dick in your ass.
I can actually pull my dick all the way to my booty hole and touch the tip of my booty hole with the tip of my penis. This is white love. You got the white heart. I ain't drunk. I came to give you my white love, my special juice, my sauce, my Cool Whip. Cool Whip. You never seen Black Cool Whip, have you?
Is that Adrian? Yeah.
Narges.
That little bit of the Southern one for DMS Tech, which is it Southern one or is it
Stoic Narges, have you figured out the secrets to the universe yet?
Dolly? What up, Dolly? Adrian, can you open your mic and show me some love?
What's going on, everybody?
Hello. Nothing much. And you?
Oh, I'm over here playing with my balls, aka the moon and the sun. Assalamu alaikum.
So what's new, Adrian? What's going on in your gay world?
Nothing, just playing games.
Quit playing games with my heart. Of my heart. My heart. Okay.
Quit playing games with my heart.
Really love that. You're so pretty.
So, has Stoic Narges ever even read any Stoic philosophy on this app ever?
I don't understand these foolish plugins. How is it time to do? You want me to read something?
Oh, you have a child, Stoic Narges?
Yes, Dolly.
Tell your daughter to read a book and not be like her mom and waste all her time on social audio chit-chat apps because she's lonely. Go to the gym and vote Trump, fatty.
I got a boyfriend, okay? Did she say same? Yeah, it's annoying me. Doing that. No, it's not. Doing that annoying me. Oh,
What's it like having a mommy who ignores you so she can come on social audio chit chat apps all day and talk about nothing?
I think that's what we call a frenemy.
Mommy, I'm here. Help me, Mommy. Where are you, Mommy? Oh, Mommy's on Clubhouse. Stop bothering me. Mommy's on Clubhouse.
I think I'm gonna get married soon.
Wow.
Because you guys asking about my nothing. Are you trying to show people what I know? And guys from my school. Who's you? No. Oh, let's get checked. Did you forget my age again? Open. What the heck? Age is just enough over.
دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
First of all,
دلم برات خیلی تنگ شده.
the back is back. You can see part there. You're choking me. Oh. You're pulling my whole head back and it's like.
I'm out of here. I'm out of here.
Okay, get out.
By the way, your room was the last room on my newsfeed. The very last one. Nothing personal, of course.
Adrian.
Hello? Hello?
This is private property just for entering into a partnership with the government.
Okay, so that's the point that's the idea
Fucking
is,
idiots.
Mike, what we're looking at, why, because we're...
Oh, man. Okay.
Oh my god.
BBO. Did you even get between your doonies, nigga? Watch his nuts and they watch his ass. How you watch your nuts? Keep your ass. That's crazy. And he got some legs over there. That's the type of shower you take when you I'm gonna die right now.
Y'all let the content, y'all.
Hey, when you got a leg with you, you're supposed to get in the crevices. Supposed to give her some dirty ass. I said when you got some legs with you, you really supposed to get in there so you get your blood. You slicked all type of shit, nigga. That nigga gonna be hitting shorty from the back, smelling his own backside air. Hey, you about to give her a clean shaft with musty balls and clean leg with a steak butt. That's correct.
That black-white kid, and we noticed the difference between the mixed kid that grew up with us, that's our cousin, then the mixed kid that grew up in the burbs with Johnny, Billy, and Sarah, and you got this identity politics going on with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I've never seen a conversation.
Your God doesn't control everything. Okay, so why should I listen to him?
Choice. He will know what will happen, but he gives you.
So wait, does your God control everything or not?
He gives you a choice.
Does your God control everything or not?
He creates evil. He creates.
I agree. Concert and fill up Central Park or fill up Bryant Park with 100,000 people and do a get out the vote concert. That's what I would do as a campaign. If those two would be willing to do, which is like, I mean, it's kind of like a big ask, but if they were willing, if you came to me and said, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter, if they're both willing to do something together for you, I would do it in a venue way bigger than this. The other problem with the convention is that it's sort of like optional the way that the networks carry it. They'll carry the parts they want to carry. They'll put whatever graphics. So, for example, on Fox News, one side of the screen has the convention. The other side is like riots in the streets. Mind you, there's no riots, right? But they're making it seem like there's riots in the streets. So I wouldn't even want to, I would want to have a lot more control. Now, back in 2008, when I was just getting interested in politics, President Obama did, well, at the time, candidate Obama, Senator Obama, he did something I think was unprecedented at the time. He took out like a 1 to 2 hour ad on all the networks. So it was a documentary that was produced by the campaign. Does anyone remember this?
Yeah.
And he took it out as an ad, meaning he paid for it. And it aired on every single, not the cable news networks only, the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox. Now, with all the money in my campaign, remember, I have a different kind of brain. What I personally would do is I would figure out a way to do a TV special, tell my story, and bookend it with whatever type of concert and or introduction on the stage with Beyonce, Taylor Swift, and I would also bring together the Avengers. Do you know what I'm talking about when I say Avengers?
Is that the Federal Reserve?
What?
I'm just saying, you better work communism and wealth distribution into your campaign promises.
So, who I'm talking about is all our superstar Democratic governors.
Wealth redistribution. Oh my God. Everything is communism now, which is really funny. I've transitioned out of clownism into communism. Oh, I'm trolling heavily.
I think the concept of private property is introduced when government comes in and starts doing what they do, which is put restrictions and limitations on what, happens with private property.
So you're saying that if me, you, and Samoa, we're traveling to the UK and on a plane, we crash in the ocean. The three of us survive a plane of 200. Mr. Finley was driving, by the way. This plane. He survived too. So Mr. Finley's with us though, okay? It wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. It was a malfunction, okay? Multiple points of failure. It was the manufacturer.
Master has the brain of a 10-year-old.
Samoa and me. We make it to the island, okay? So now we're going to do the little things that we're going to do. Are you saying that we would not be able to have any concept of private property because we are not under the control of a...
Holy fucking
actually
shit.
just had to send it to them
That's true. That's
wear,
true.
and they don't even buy it, and they wear it one time, and it goes on a hanger in a closet. So a lot of their stuff they don't even buy.
They can have charity auctions and raise money.
They should give it away though, G. Why they keeping it in air temperature controlled warehouses like that? If you go look at it, it's a sin before God. It's big as a Macy's, 2-story Macy's. It's like what the? And she's going, and they have a
That's a
label.
mortal sin to be like that.
Yeah.
That's greed and.
Yeah.
Clothes like that become vintage, so they just save those clothes to be worth something.
Because of communism.
Some of those vintage clothes.
Because of wealth redistribution.
They have enough to fill a 2-story Macy's department store, and it's all labeled. Don't get it wrong. It's labeled and organized almost like. Yeah, it's crazy. Go
And she said she wasn't going to get rid of his stuff. She said because the kids may want it. There is his kids.
Oh my God.
Because it'll be vintage like that.
Oh no, he gotta go. That was the greatest.
It's not about wearing these. Listen. When you have, for instance, if you have something that Kanye wore one time, 2 things come to mind all the time. First of all, you don't know when you're gonna be broke. You don't know when you're gonna be absolutely broke.
That's true. I just sell
Here's
next year.
the point to it. You may that's an actually asset at this point. That has to be assured because his kids can grow up and actually sell that stuff or leverage it for some other kind of business because that's an actual asset. So if the asset is actually accruing worth at a rate that actually wants them keeping it, it's not a bad deal. I mean, it's actually an asset in that sense. So the kids may grow up and say, hey, his dad's old stuff, you know what? Just like Michael Jackson. I mean, anything that Michael Jackson ever touched is worth 14 times or 400 times worth it was when he actually got it. It may be the same thing with Kanye.
People are not going to talk that way about Michael. I'm going to put that warning out because she loses her shit. Looks like I did
Can they fill Michael's prosthetic nose, maybe?
I can still blow this room up. I don't need no mind bag.
Not too much. Not too much on Michael now.
You don't have that skill. That's hilarious. Yeah, we won't talk about Michael Jackson because this girl, please. There's all kind of articles about him and that prosthetic nose. Oh my God.
Did anyone kind of wish this had worked for J-Lo? Like, I just wanted her to be happy.
I did.
Poor woman.
That's
I was like,
yeah.
I mean, heck, he gave us the residency in Vegas, like, trying to make it work, and then his ass still was like, oh, yeah, no, I'm out.
Honestly, I don't ever think about her happiness.
But she filed, not Ben. She filed. But he had to move out because she said that she was so damn demanding and picky. And Sonia said something right. If he's in recovery, that's a little bit too much, you know.
It's a lot, yeah, because remember, Jennifer Garner was like, it's like this nice Midwest girl. He couldn't make it with her.
Yeah.
You know, Jen is 10 times that child.
But J-Lo has a reputation, y'all. People have been saying this for decades about J-Lo being demanding. She's been having a reputation in New York City days.
Yeah, because she hasn't made it with a couple of guys herself, so it's not just, I think it's both of them.
Yeah, he's saying, I was reading an article while we were talking, he said she was nitpicking on little stuff, and if you're a recovering alcoholic, you can't be hard on them. They're trying to keep it together. You have to be nurturing to those people. If you're trying to be nitpicking, you can't put shit down the kids. His kids are driving her crazy.
Just put him in the bag.
What was her last husband's name?
The Latino guy. What was his name?
Oh,
he moved on and had a baby.
No,
Ricky Martin. Somebody Ricky Martin.
I forgot about A-Rod.
I think he's married and had another baby since then.
Yeah, he done moved on with his life.
Yeah, he has moved on. So she's been with a lot of men too.
Yeah, he's like, I dodged the bullet.
She needs to stay with a Latin man that can handle all that temper. I think.
Yeah, I agree. All that spicy shit.
Yeah, that's spice.
Perfect. Yeah, because you can tell she's, just look at her. She has to put a lot of work and energy into keeping herself looking the way she looks. That's time and energy if you guys don't know that. And he probably said, I just want to just chill. I don't want to be dragging all me up and down the street of Hollywood. I don't want to be going out to dinner to is it Mr. Childs over there in Beverly Hills? I do not want to be bothered. And she wants to be in the spotlight. And Ben Affleck seems like he's a laid back guy. I don't know why he did that. I don't know why he made that move. He didn't remember what happened the last time.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I think he's a little Boston complicated myself.
So this is some good tea. I'm like reading the gossip tabloids right now, and apparently J-Lo is saying that like he was basically a freeloader and she was paying for everything, so she wants accountability of everything that she paid for during the marriage, and she wants to be repaid. Even though, I mean, she has a lot more money than him, but she's saying it's the thought or whatever, not the thought, the fact that she paid for everything was problematic for her, according to.
They got finances before they got married. What are we talking about here?
Wow, that's
Man, being broke. Not being broke.
I mean, Jenna's
money than him, but at the end of the day, regardless of how much money you make, if you know somebody don't have something, and like I told my man, at the end of the day, sometimes they may not have much, right? But you gotta start somewhere. And at the end of the day, if you kick somebody down the road because they don't have that, now look what he's doing today. He's got a job, putting together computers and things. So I mean, you never know what people can turn out to be or whatever. But at the end of the day, for her to be so picky and nitpicky and that kind of stuff, that's hard on a man.
Rich people with middle class poverty. No different.
I ain't like that, bro. I ain't nitpicky. I thank God, Jesus, because I wouldn't have no goddamn man if I was nitpicky. I go to do like this. No, I'm different. No, I'm not. Only thing I ask a man to do, dead seriously, be yourself. I don't know dudes do this. Just do that. But I'm not nitpicky.
Jennifer needs to
That's all I want.
When I'm on the plane, it's down. Yes, that's what she said on the night. If you tell him to sit his ass down and he set his ass down, you might as well not have one.
But you know something?
I have one.
You gotta admit something. See, here's the deal with somebody like Ben and Jennifer. Ben's not broke.
Nope.
But it's kind of like the thing, hey, you know what? I got money and I got ends. Let's go out to dinner. It's the difference of going out to dinner at the most expensive restaurant in Beverly Hills and hopping on the plane and having dinner in Paris. Those are two different income levels.
Yeah.
Like when I was starting my business, I had business partners that had more assets than I did. We could go to vacation together, but these dudes called me up a week before the Super Bowl. Hey, man, we get the group together to go to the Super Bowl. I'm buying tickets. You in? Dude, it's a week before the Super Bowl. How much them tickets? $14,000. No, I'm not going with y'all, man. I don't know 14. Yeah, that's that. I'm not at that income level to buy football tickets for 14 grand. You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on, man. You can go. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I had friends like, well, not friends, football tickets at the last minute to the Super Bowl, but I had friends like that who will plan a vacation. Let's go to the Virgin Islands. I'm like, okay, so what day you guys want to leave?
Wednesday.
Yeah, exactly. And they just get up, make the plans, and they go. They leave me here 90% of the time. I just can't. I can put it together, but give me 2 weeks at least.
Like my checking account, my savings account set up.
150 million, and J-Lo is worth about 400 million.
Basically, like completely shadow bound. Just, I guess I've got that. Je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. She's the top.